Hello, Falcons fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss. So get ready because there's a lot of important information coming your way. Before we start, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Atlanta Falcons. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Myles Garrett throws Falcons a lifeline. The Atlanta Falcons need help with their pass rush, and one of the game's best, Cleveland Browns edge rusher Myles Garrett, could help. In a press release issued Monday, Garrett officially requested a trade from the Browns, citing their Super Bowl hopes as the primary reason. The Browns, in their own statement, said they have no plans to trade Garrett. But with Garrett adamant about his position, Cleveland may not have a choice. So what happens next? Perhaps the Falcons will join the mix, and Bleacher Report insider James Palmer believes that Atlanta, if it can find a cap-friendly exit with quarterback Kirk Cousins to better maximize Michael Penix Jr.'s rookie contract, would be a logical landing spot for Garrett from a need perspective. They've been embarrassingly bad at getting after the quarterback the last few years, Palmer said. Can you guys find a way to move on from Kirk and then move the money? Having the ability to add Myles Garrett to this defense, I think, changes Atlanta exponentially and changes the perception of Atlanta in 2025, without a doubt. Atlanta hasn't been in the top 10 in sacks since 2004. The Falcons have recorded just 31 sacks this season, second fewest in the NFL. And the Falcons, from general manager Terry Fontenot and head coach Raheem Morris to newly hired defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, are determined to add pass rushers. You never say it's not going to be a priority in the offseason, just the philosophy of the organization that it starts at the front, Morris said. You can be number one in sacks or last, it's still going to be a priority. If you can get after the quarterback, you can play a really good defense, and that's always going to be a priority for us. Related, Falcons to prioritize pass rush in NFL draft and free agency. Fontenot said Atlanta has pressure players but needs to develop internally and add more pieces this spring. Ulbrich agreed. There's no great defense that's ever been in this league that hasn't affected the quarterback, Ulbrich said. You have to affect the quarterback in two ways. Either you affect him physically, take him out of position, knock him down, hit him, or you affect him from a coverage standpoint and try to confuse him. You can't thrive in this league from a defensive perspective without good pass pressure. The Falcons not only recognize their need to improve their pass pressure, but they've also tried to act on it. At the mid-season trade deadline, Fontenot and the Atlanta staff tried to add defensive line and pass pressure help, Palmer said, and they frantically called other teams in hopes of finding a match. However, while the Falcons were unsuccessful in the fall, Palmer believes their previous search for a pass rusher could be relevant as the Garrett situation unfolds. The reason I bring it up is just to remind you, they were aggressive, Palmer said. And those are little things that you always try to remember when you think about these kinds of conversations. Both Palmer and Diana Rossini of The Athletic said any trade package for Garrett would likely include a first-round draft pick and some combination of day 2 draft picks or a player. Atlanta currently holds the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. For now, though, the Falcons' true interest in Garrett is unknown. The 29-year-old Garrett, who has been an All-Pro 5 years in a row and won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award last season, recorded a league-high 14 sacks and 22 tackles for loss while starting all 17 games in 2024. Garrett has 2 years remaining on a 5-year, $125 million contract he signed in 2020, and according to NFL.com, he has salary cap hits of $19.7 million and $20.4 million in 2025 and 2026, respectively. Atlanta, meanwhile, ranks 27th in the league in salary cap space at negative $11 million, according to Over the Cap. The Falcons also have just 5 draft picks, including just 2, their first and second round picks, in the top 100. And so while Atlanta has a glaring need for another pass rusher and Garrett would be a much-needed acquisition, the Falcons don't appear to have the capital to make such a move, even if Cleveland were willing to trade up.